Welcome back to day 3 of our Zombie Slayer run. We're just going to start the day off with the normal routine things that we need to get out of the way. So we'll go pick up our horse. And, ooh, Crazy Horse looks pretty good today. Pretty freaking good. And then we're going to head over and grab our fish hatchet. Oh, well, that puts a little damper in that. One sec. Alright. Now we should have... Yep, there we go. Thanks, guys, for refilling that. Alright, so we want to get our equipment situated. We will want to swap our briefcase back to the correct settings. And head on over to the lab tunnel and do that part for today. May want to restore HP first. Currently in a fight? What are you talking about, Mafia? I am not in a fight. Now I'm in a fight. Alright, and we'll see if Wham gives up on this fight or not. Really? Alright, so rather than getting the lobotomy today, I'm going to go with the wandering eye surgery for the item boost. And you'll see why shortly here. Assuming that it lasts long enough for us to do what we need to do with it. And we're going to grab the boomerang. And then before we do anything else, we're going to make a wish. I wish I was fighting a ghost. Have Jeffrey wink. Well, we're going to wink at Jeffrey and have him copy the ghost, and then we'll use our boomerang that we just got on it. And then let's go ahead and bust that ghost. Here we go. We got 5 white pixels, and we should be encountering that thing 4 more times. That'll get us almost all the way to our digital key. Head on over to the Snow Joe, and let's take on the Snowman. Alright, so there we go. All 10 fights for that. Now let's go to our campground and let's harvest our garden. Use the cornucopias to get our cashews, and we're going to trade those in for 1 gravy boat, 5 stuffing fluffers, And we'll get a glass casserole dish. And then let's go hit the hermit real quick. We'll assemble a clover, head over to the chasm, go to the logging camp, use our clover, and there we go, we got the bridge. Visit the Highland Lord, and now we got the Oil Peak quest opened up. So now is the time that we need to boost up our monster level. First stop is going to be the Spacegate facility. Get an emotional vaccine. And let's just check what the maximizer suggests. We got daily affirmation. That's got us up to 95. And then we can either swim laps or use our car, but we're going to swim laps because we want to use the car for some other stuff. So, put on the unstable fulminate. And let's head down to the cellar in the haunted boiler room. So what we need here is a boiler to heat up our fulminate into a bomb. Probably gonna get it. Yep, there we go. And once we have that, put our bear arm back on. Blow that up. And we can go fight Lord Spooky Raven now, but we don't need to because right now we're basically depending on the monster level boost for the next few things. So let's visit the work shed. We actually have enough fuel in there for right now. Let's drive wastefully and then go visit the Oil Peak. And I'm actually just gonna let Mafia run it. Alright, we got our bubbling crude. And we need to just do one more adventure there to light it up. Alright. Let's enhance items. Let's get a barrel hoop earring and play some pool. And we will swap out the earring for our love earrings. And we're going to stop driving wastefully. And we're going to drive observantly instead. And then let's just double check what we got here. We can drink a Sacramento wine. We could put on our training helmet. Could do the detective badge, but we want to be careful. Alright, so let's go ahead and drink a wine. We'll just do one for now. And that puts us at 418%. Item drops. Monster level is down to only 90, but that's okay. Let's just double check here. We can use a Greek fire. Right. And then we'll just let Mafia do it. Tavern Quest faucet. Alright, so there we go. We got the faucet found. And we got one tangle of rat tails. Better than nothing. Let's put on our gravy boat hat. Stop driving observantly. Fuel that thing up a little bit more. And we're going to drive stealthily. And we'll hit the defiled cranny. Make sure our choice is set to fight a swarm of ghoul whelps. And let's let it burn a few adventures there. Alright, so once that is clear, we need to fuel up our car a little bit more. We need to get at least 50 so that we have a banish. Alright, and then head back into the crypt. This time we'll go to the niche. And what we're looking for is we want to get rid of the senile and the slick. And then we can let the other turns run themselves. Alright, so we got that out of the way. Now let's take a little bit of a break from the crypt. Let's go fuel up our Aston Martin a little more. This time we want to get it up to at least 100. And then we're going to make another wish. And hopefully this time, there we go. What we attempted to do yesterday and just utterly failed at. So now let's talk to the council, get the level 12 quest, head on over to the island and go to the hippie camp. And we want to keep our encounters as low as possible, so we're at negative 25. That should be hopefully good enough. Alright, so we do have a hunter that should be showing up soon. And don't believe we ever encountered the wandering zombie hunting feller yesterday. So maybe we'll get one today. The actual hunter for level 12 could be showing up anytime within the next 20 adventures or so, I believe. Alright, so we got the war started. Head to the lighthouse. Turn in the gunpowder barrels. Go to the arena. Get the flyers. And then let's use our stuffing fluffers. And we had 5 of them, so that takes us down to 192 hippies defeated. So the orchard and the nuns should be unlocked at this point. We're looking at 35 to 56 turns to get the meat. I think we can do a little bit better than that. We don't have a lot of options for familiars, though, that aren't, you know, dead. So first thing we'll want to do is go to our briefcase and get our meat buff. And then swap out our equipment for the better things. And let's just see what the maximizer has to say. Alright, love earrings. Alright, so let's fuel up our car a little bit more. Stop driving stealthily. Switch out to observantly. and we're to 14 to 21. That's not what we want. Alright, so one other thing that we can do is we can get a knife, which is going to give us 50% meat. And it doesn't make a huge difference, but potentially we could have it in about 13 turns. So let's go ahead and set that and just keep an eye on our HP. We'll let that run. Now we could have also swapped out our horse for the dark horse. I'm not sure that that really actually helps with the Nun Meat quest. I've never tried it, so I don't know. But I prefer to just stick with the crazy horse for now. And I mean, we're talking like a matter of maybe a few turns. It's not really a big deal. We're saving quite a bit on the war by using more stuffing fluffers than we would on a 2-day run. So, alright, so with that done, what we're going to do now is swap out Familiar for Jack, and we're going to head over to the orchard. And let's just switch our equipment back real quick here. Now we're not actually too concerned about item drops right now because we have the XO skeleton, so he's actually going to take care of getting those glands for us. But what we will do is hit our witch's set and do our daily challenge. Okay, we need to boost our horde real quick as well. And there's our hunter brain. Let's actually go ahead and use that real quick. Alright, so we got Vigor Mortis is finally something we can get. Or we could go for Zombie Chow, which allows us to feed a zombie to our familiar. I'm not really interested in that one. So we'll do this and get a little boost to our muscle. Right. So what we want to do here is have our familiar give them a hug and kiss, and then just kill them however you want. And as you can see, we are getting the gland on the first turn in each zone. Pretty nice. We'll put Jeffrey back in his slot, and then we'll go kill the queen. And remember to visit the stand twice. Alright, so now let's run through some of our other quests. While we get that rest of that monster level for the arena taken care of. We got a ghost here we can bust. Or get killed by, either way. Let's put our gravy boat back on. Head back to the crypt. Get a little boost to our item drops, and then go to the Nook. And what we want is to get an Evil Eye and use it each time that we get it. This thing seems to be moving real slow today. Alright, so then we need to boost our initiative. And we have a few options here. We're going to want to save some of those. And then visit the alcove, and we'll just dump 15 turns in there and see how that goes. Alright, so that crypt area is cleared. Only thing left to do in the crypt is defeat the Boner Dagon. There we go. So we do have a few boss brains that we can eat. Actually 6 of them. Those are going to be 7 adventures per. And we're going to go ahead and just consume those now. Get that gravy boat off. Swap that back out. And then we'll pawn our Talisman of Namsalat. And let's head over to the Palindome. So no olfaction and hardly any banishes here means that it's going to be a little bit harder to fight 5 dudes to get the book that we're looking for. So what we can do is we can actually use our time spinner to fight a couple of them. But we may want to save some of those time spinner minutes in case we need to refight a pygmy shaman or something like that later on. But by all means, we can definitely do at least one Bob race car to get a little bit closer to it. And then let's just set that for 11 and let it go. Alright, so we just need one more dude. There we go. So we'll head over to our inventory. Place the stuff on the shelves and get beaten up by Dr. Awkward. Alright, so before we try to get the stuff to make the wet stunt nut stew, we're going to want to do a little shifting around of our inventory. And we're up to 75% on our flyer advertising. There we go. the Mega Gem, put that on, and wipe out Dr. Awkward. Alright, let's go bust a ghost real quick. We'll want to restore our HP. Alright, so let's start on that hidden temple. We'll use 1 stone wool. Use 1 more. And then finally use a 3rd one. We'll go down the stairs. Cute little guy with the lightning tail. Go through the door. Raise your hands up. Continue. Bananas. That sounds like a safe word or something. Do nothing. So restore HP. Hidden Park. Knock over the dumpster if you get that. Okay, so we didn't get a book of matches, which kind of sucks. But we're going to want to put on the antique machete, just like you normally would. And spend a few adventures on each of the shrines to unlock them. Earthbound and down. What are you doing? Heir apparent. And fire when ready. And then of course hit the massive ziggurat. So we're going to need a couple banishes, ideally. So let's fuel up our car to 50. Well, assuming we have enough to fuel it up to 50. There we go. Head to the bowling alley. Use a trank dart on the orderlies. And of course, don't banish the bowler. That would be a huge mistake. So once you get the bowling ball, go ahead and roll it. And we're going to hit that drunken pygmy with a spring-loaded front bumper. Okay, with both of those guys banished, we can just let Mafia take care of the rest for us. Alright, so with the bowling alley out of the way, let's go ahead and turn in the sphere. And see if we have any surgeonosity. And we don't, so we're going to head over there. And of course, every time that we defeat a surgeon, Then of course kill the Ancient Protector Spirit once you encounter it. Use the sphere. Swap your equipment back. And then we'll head to the hidden apartment building. Banish the witch lawyer. And then this is where we're going to want to be careful. We need to be thrice cursed before we get to that non-combat here. So if we don't get another shaman after this, then, and we just did, so we're okay, but we would want to use our time spinner if we didn't. So now that we are thrice cursed, we can actually just go ahead and let Mafia run the rest of the turns for this one. And we should only have 3 more turns there anyway. Alright, so use that sphere. Then over here, basically same deal. We need to get 5 McCluskey files before we get the second non-combat here. We already got 3 of them over there in the apartment building, so we just need to encounter 2 more accountants, and there's number 4 right there. Oh, rather we needed 3 more. As counted. Now we need 1 more. Alright, and there is number 5. So make sure this is fight spirit or get binder clip or fight accountant. Run the rest of your turns. Alright, so that's out of the way. Use the sphere. And then go fight the Protector Spectre. Alright, so that one's out of the way. Now what we want to do is create our Staff of Ed, and let's actually put on our Frat Warrior fatigues. Head on over to the Mysterious Island of Mystery, turn in the arena quest, visit the junkyard. Let's get that. Go to the barrel, and we're not going to waste any kind of banishes here because we're going to want to save those actually. And what we'll do is we'll just keep using a dictionary until we get the actual tool. Unless you get that message, then you kill him. And let's actually swap out for our other bear arm. One more zone. There we go. Alright, so we got the last one of those. Right. Now we have 27 turns roughly left on the battlefield, and we have 19 adventures left. Let's eat our other 2 boss brains, and let's use our second astral energy drink, and then let it run. Alright, so all the hippies are dead. We need to trade in our gear. We're going to keep the Gaia beads and round green sunglasses and the lock and stock sandals, but we're going to sell everything else. And then we'll purchase some gauze garters. Let's go ahead and bust that ghost real quick. Restore our HP. And then go kill the guy. Alright, so we'll wipe him out. And then we'll need to finish up the Highland Lord quest. So we're going to need to fill up our vehicle. Put our fish hatchet back on. Drive stealthily. Okay, so head over here, hit the Twin Peak. And then we're going to want to put on our love earrings. And let's put on Unfortunatos Fool's Cap. And then just go through each of the options here as we get to non-combats. And our initiative's at 100, so we should be okay for the last one. And then we'll hit a Boo Peak. We're looking for a total of 3 Abu clues. And we need to get down to 90% hauntedness. Alright, so we still need one more clue. Let's actually go ahead and assemble a clover. Alright, get our maximizer. Cold and spooky resistance. Alright, so we should be okay. One more. Alright, and then wrap that up. Put our gear back on that we want to have on, with the exception of the compass. Then we'll hit the desert, and we're going to dump 10 turns into the desert first. Alright, so then we'll use a clover. Head to the oasis. Say yes, we do, yes, we want to use that clover. And then get the rest of the worm riding manual pages. So we're going to pause the exploration for a second here and do a little eating and drinking. And we're going to want to only eat a few here. Leave a couple spots open. And then just automate the other turns to get the rest of those manual pages. Alright, so we finally got those manual pages, so we'll head over to the oasis. Normally I would yellow ray the scarab beetles to get a mojo filter, but I don't think we're going to need it before breaking the prism today. So we can actually just let it run some turns here to get the stone rose in the drum machine. Alright, so once we have that stuff, head over to Nasir, give him all the things. Nope, that's all. Use, and a worm ride. At this point we could fuel up our vehicle and lower our encounters for the upper chamber. I'm just going to set it at 10 turns and run it. See how many crumbling wooden wheels we get. So now we want to fuel up the car. We have 2 tennis balls. We'll fuel up the vehicle real quick. So we need to have drive observantly enabled, and we need to have at least 50 liters of fuel so that we can banish. And let's just double check. Yeah, we'll put that on. We'll use those. And we still have the sacramental effect, so let's hit the middle chamber and we'll go ahead and fight the tomb rats. And then we'll banish the asp and the tomb servant when we encounter them. Spring-loaded front bumper and tennis ball. And once we've got them banished, we'll just let Mafia run the turns for us. Once we get nothing more to do here, we'll run it one more time to open up the control room. And yeah, we're not doing too good on our tomb ratchet drops. We need 6 more. Alright, so we got the control room open. We still need 2 more ratchets. So we're going to hit this as +2. Run it for possible 10. And let that go until we have enough. Alright, so now we have enough ratchets and wheels. So we'll hit the control room. Use a wheel. Use a wheel again. And then a ratchet. Head down to lower chambers. Return to the control room. Use 4 more ratchets here. Then head down to lower chambers. Go back to the control room. Go back down to lower chambers, and we've now opened up Ed's chamber. So we just need to kill Ed. And unlike other bosses, he is not going to give us any brains when he dies. Maybe it's because he's a mummy and they removed his brain. Maybe it's just because he's immortal, so we can't get his brain. I don't know. So he's finished off. And we can get to the sorcerer's chamber now. However, we still need to get the Richard Starr key and the digital key. So what we're going to do first is faxing a ghost to get our last 5.
Why are you guys out here then? What? Go, both of you.
There's our hunter brain. There's our fax out ghost. And we can get our digital key. Get our skeleton key. Head to the hole in the sky. And hopefully, yep, there we go. We get an astronomer. Alright, now this part could be a bit challenging compared to a normal run because we don't have things like bow-legged swagger and bend hell. But we'll see how we do here. So the guide will kind of help you out here. We need 265% more. Alright, 85% more. We do have 2 deck pulls still. But that's a plus 200, which we don't really need to do quite that much. So let's just do the concert, and we might as well chew a vibrating mushroom. And let's see how we do with hot damage. That gets us to 50. And then we need to do Moxie. And we actually have a potion here to get us through. Too high enough. Alright, so let's manage what we have equipped. Let's actually go with the cowboy boots after all. And let's see if Bear Hug even works on these guys. Seanry the Con Man. Alright, so that's out of the way. Get our prize. Go to the coronation. Buff all resistance. And then we'll do the opposite of what Frank says each time. Open up the tower door. Face the wall of skin. We want to buff our meat drop, and I'm actually going to put the left bear arm instead of that tip jar. And we're probably going to end up having to do a couple turns here for the wall of meat. Alright, so for the wall of bones, we don't have the boning knife, as you can see. So now that we are to that wall, the actual likelihood of encountering that adventure in the castle will be a lot higher than it would have been otherwise. But we're still going to want to buff our combat encounters to as low as possible. And that includes feeding our car a little bit. And go to the ground floor. We can let Mafia do it if we want. Otherwise, we can just try to get it ourselves, and there we go. Restore HP. Now remember, it's going to be a little bit tougher because we don't have funk slinging, but 4 gauze garters should still take care of him. Alright, so we're about to face the final match here, so we want to make sure we fill up our stomach, because once we are no longer on this path, we're going to lose this 25 fullness. Alright, so now we're about to head to the third form, and instead of fighting the little cocktail wiener thing, Renee C. Corman comes out. Alright, my dear, you've had your fun. I'll handle it from here. The tentacled abomination vanishes with a howl and a puff of smoke. It's the foul necromancer, Renee C. Corman. I probably suspected you were the one behind all this. In this time period, they call me Cristobal Cologne. He coughs into a colorful blanket and gives you a wicked grin. What? But the Great Plague was years ago. Oh, really? And what year do you think it is right now? Alright, so let's kill this guy. Oh. Yeah, he totally got us that time. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. You fool, you pathetic, deluded fool. There's nothing you can do to stop me. I've already prevented the invention of Ofuxor. I've already won. I'll claim a new body to replace this one, and after the council inevitably turns to a nuclear option, I'll return to dance in the flames. Right. Somehow I don't think that's going to work out for you. Alright, let's break the prism. Wait a minute. What's that behind the astral gash? Beside the glittering vortex that leads out of the physical plane and beyond the pale, you spot another portal. A jagged rip in the fabric of space-time. Beyond it, you hear faintly the sounds of a battle. It suddenly dawns on you what must be done. You leap into the temporal rift, and in a swirling chaos of color and sound that soon settles into the more familiar chaos of a battlefield. The blue-armored forces of Dyspepsy-Cola are facing off against the red-armored Cloca-Cola soldiers, but they have a singularly menacing trait in common, the wet-hacking cough of the Gray Plague. You race to a medical tent where a worried-looking doctor is conferring with one of the Cloca-Cola's generals. Nearby, bound to a cot with leather straps, another doctor moans listlessly. One look at his glazed-over eyes is all you need. This man has obviously succumbed to the plague and become a zombie. Can't explain it, General, says the doctor. The Great Plague is killing these men, and yet they walk. Well, that's good, isn't it? That means our soldiers are undefeatable. The doctor glares at him. Certainly, sir, except for two important issues. Firstly, the dyspepsy soldiers are equally affected. Blast! What's the other problem? They attack all living men indiscriminately. If we don't figure out a cure, the entire nation, the entire world will be at risk from these creatures. Even Dr. Von Galactic here has succumbed, and he was our best hope for finding a solution. I have a solution, you say. The two men turn to stare at you in surprise. I say, the general begins. There's no time to explain. You interrupt. I don't think I could manage it even if there was. You point at the restrained zombie. Doctor, you need to take out this man's pineal gland. His pineal gland? Yeah, you can use the pineal glands of the zombies to synthesize an antidote and a vaccine. I'm afraid I don't know the exact details of the process, but you should probably be able to figure it out. Incredible. Doctor rolls up his sleeves and reaches for a scalpel. I'll begin straight away. You put a hand on his shoulder. One more thing, and this is the important part. Once you've worked out the formulation of the cure, you must write it down. Don't forget. You leave the doctor to his work and find a quiet corner to wait in, away from the Cloca-Cola soldiers, whose delicious brains you can practically smell. The hunger is torture. You have little hope that Ofuxor will cure someone as far gone as yourself, but you must at least confirm that the cure is found and the kingdom saved. After several hours, a medic runs up to you. The doctor sent me to find you, he says, an excited gleam in his eye. The serum works. Here, roll up your sleeve. He holds up a hypodermic needle filled with a sickly, glowing green liquid. Does it work on people who have already changed? You ask. No, but you're still talking, aren't you? Plenty of time. You haven't the heart to tell him, so you let him inject you. Your body starts convulsing almost immediately. You hear the medic say, What the? None of the others reacted. And then everything goes black. In the darkness, you can feel your body screaming, or you reach out to it, attempting to calm it, to take control. This body may be zombified, but it's yours. That much is clear. After all, this is the second life you spent in it. Live, you command the weary flesh. Live. Remember who and what you are. You are a... Oh God, you can't remember. What was it? Seal Clubber, of course. what do you know? Cured. And everything looks like it's all better again. We're back into the regular world, and things are all fine. So that's it. That is a 3-day hardcore zombie slayer run. Pretty brutal. Not pretty. We could definitely improve on that in the future, but there you go. It's definitely doable in 3 days with no preparation beforehand other than having the right familiar. So that's it. If you guys have any suggestions on what challenge path you want me to do next, other than Nuclear Autumn, because screw that. And I don't really think that the Live, Ascend, Repeat one sounds too exciting, so maybe not that one either. But any of the other ones, I'm willing to do that. Heck, I'll even do a Oxycore pretty soon here, I think. But let me know what you want me to do, and I'll try to make that happen in the near future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later on.